Hey, Blue Table fans. How you doing? Okay, scratch that as the new open. Please, stay out of arm's distance, sir. Alright, so listen up, guys. This is your update. This is where you get to see my beautiful face. Sean's beautiful face. I wish I could touch it. Wonder how many people have shrines out there to me. Probably quite a few, actually. Burn little candles, you know. Somehow they got a lock of my hair, you know. They're like pushing into like this wax effigy, you know. Doing stuff to it. Whatever that may be. Sometimes when I'm like, oh, ow, I'm like, oh, I wonder if somebody voodooing me, I wonder. Doubt it. I really doubt that. So, anyway, all right, got a lot to cover here. First off, it's fall, and that was always my favorite season back in Oregon. Just so rainy and somber, and it was kind of like, in Oregon, it's like green, like everything is like greenery is like everywhere, like everywhere, and so fall introduced all these different colors. Now in Utah, all the foliage is transplanted. Like the pioneers planted all this stuff. It's all landscaped because this is desert, you know. And so the fall here is beautiful, but not as beautiful as the spring. So, but today was a beautiful day, just amazing. There's a lane near my place where the trees reach over the top, so it's like the tunnel, and like the leaves and the cars, and just the temperature was just perfect. Went out for this huge walk, got some food at a local tap house. Was just eating it on the way home, eating these like garlic fries or whatever. Just perfect, a perfect moment, really. And what if how things are going now, that is a good thing. I've gone through life like, not through life, but recently. you like my V-neck? Gone through life like thinking like something better's coming. And that's good. But, you know, I gotta not miss the moment. That's kind of my big lesson. I slept for 12 hours last night, and so soundly, like I couldn't get up. Like I was like super hungry, but my body was paralyzed with sleep, so I kept having food dreams. Like I was making myself cream of wheat and like eating it. And then I would wake up and be like, oh, I'm hungry, go back to sleep, have another food dream. So anyway, so Blue Table Painting is down to 43 projects. And you might be like, ooh, down to, that sounds bad. Oh no, it's good. With right around 10 artists, 43 projects, it's perfect. I love it. Things are like, they're finally speeding up to where I really want them to be. You know, some of the projects are getting through in like, you know, like 2 weeks, for example. And I want to get it to where it's like, that's how you build it up, folks. Don't get behind. If you ever do this, don't get behind, whatever you do. Okay, so yeah, turnaround's good. I'm taking projects. Yeah, contact me at the email and the liner notes. I'm having an October special. So check the liner notes for that, because I don't want to say it, because then it's hard to change it, you know, or like if there's a limited number of slots or whatever like that. Just check the liner notes for updates and details. All right. So don't miss the October special. Every Halloween I take my kids back to Spanish Fork, which is about 45 minutes south of Salt Lake. That's where I am now. And we go trick-or-treating in our old neighborhood. And it's great. They get to see their old friends, you know. For me, it's like, you know, I already have my life up here. So anyway, but I certainly enjoy their enthusiasm. It's good. Being a dad is good. I've had a great run at it, and I'm not done yet. Still got some years to go. So my crew, like right now, my crew is so good. They're producing great work. Their turnaround's good. They're great attitudes. Like, I'm starting to feel like I want to get that studio going again. And by the way, I have things cooking. Behind the scenes, slowly in the darkness, I have gathered my strength. All right, what's next? Okay, Valhalla. So Valhalla was October 7th through 12th. They ran it for 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 6 days. So 4 full days and then 2 part days. That's my thumbs. Who's got 2 thumbs and loves Valhalla? This guy. Now it used to be I was like, Valhalla this, Valhalla that, la 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 la. Sell those tickets. But now it's turned, as I always knew it would, where it's like it's going to be sold out in a day. Like, people will be crying because they just couldn't do it. Now the solve, which has happened spontaneously, by the way, is that small groups have started just on their own account, nothing to do with the event. They've started renting cabins up in Timber Lakes. And so they, and then they buy day passes. So I'm saying that to you. If you want to come to Valhalla, you've always dreamed of it, dismay not, because you can still come that way. And so the now organizers, Miranda, aka Wargamer Girl, her company is doing the event now. She's done it 2016, 2017. There was no Valhalla in 2015. that was the year of Sean, like, yeah. At the time it didn't feel so bad, but looking back at it, I'm just like, oh man, how did you make it through all that? So anyway, so up in Salt Lake, every Friday I do a D&D game with my 2 sons and then some other people. And right now we got a couple chairs open. I like to run 6 people. 6 for me is easy. And incidentally, up at Valhalla, when I was doing Ultimate D&D, that's, by the way, that is not affiliated with Dungeons and Dragons. That's just a code name at this point. Ultimate Fantasy Role-Playing is probably what it'll be, but then that's not like clear exactly what it is, you know. So I don't want any brand confusion, which is why I'm telling you right now, it's not Dungeons and Dragons. It's Pathfinder, actually, is the system that I'm using. So I'm up there, and I got a lot of feedback because I want this to be the best it can be. This is my great idea. I love this idea. It doesn't even have to be commercially successful. I'm doing it anyway. I'm doing this because I love it. It's happening. And so anyway, I put a timer, and so I tried to get through all 6 players' turns in 5 minutes, and then do all of the bad guys and NPCs 5 minutes. And most of the time we made it. It was pretty good. And a lot of the players said that they really liked that because it gave kind of a sense of urgency. It kind of lent to the hurly-burly of an actual combat. Like, oh, I better be ready. So people were, you know, it's like, throw your damage with your to-hit roll because you don't got a lot of time. Just be like, bam, I hit. 8 points. Bam, I missed. Next. Just get through them really fast like that. I think I could even do it faster than that. And possibly even do a thing where it's like, you guys are out of time. That's it. Bad guy's turn. So, and one of my house rules, which I think I'll keep, because I want to run the game officially, but for the sake of expediency, man, you gotta, I do top of the round, bottom of the round for good guys, bad guys, instead of rolling initiative and kind of going back and forth. All right, what did I want to say about that? Turnaround fall. My crew is awesome. I think I said that. Like the painters and assemblers for BTP they're talented. There's a lot of great people in this. And moving to Salt Lake was a good move. There's a great artist community up here. Okay, so while I was at Valhalla, I met Andrew, who is a professional DM. Isn't that amazing? He's great, too. He knows how to write a story. He does pen and paper, what he calls theater of the mind. So you go down to his game, there's no miniatures or anything. It's just people sitting around a round table and just imagining all of it. And I think that's great. I want the strengths of both genres for my thing. But anyway, Andrew was great. Got to talk to him a lot. He gave me a lot of great feedback on my thing and the D&D thing. But he runs 5th edition. And I sort of dismissed 5th edition because Wizards of the Coast, who now owns the Dungeons & Dragons IP, they kind of jagged up with 4th edition. I mean, it was bad. I played it. I bought all the books. They put out a zillion books. And there's a lot of money to be made with books. There's a reason why these companies are putting out, like, tons of books and then tanking them every 5 years, so you have to buy new sets of books. By the way, I'm not thrilled with that system. Now with Pathfinder, everything is good. Like, if you bought something 10 years ago for Pathfinder, you can still use that today. It all jives. So anyway, but 5th edition, I kind of was dismissive. They didn't put out a lot of books for it. But I was in the game shop with my sons. See how these stories tie together? So in the game shop with my sons, and they're playing Magic. I'm playing Magic with them. But I'm looking at the 5th edition books, and I'm like, these are actually, they're pretty well written. I mean, they definitely have a style. They harken back to that nostalgic thing, a simpler era. And so 5th ed might not be bad. I heard, here's where I want you to correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard that like 70% of 5th edition Pathfinder is actually 5th edition. Most people are playing 5th edition. That doesn't seem right to me. I think most people are playing Pathfinder. It's been around longer. The system is better supported. There's tons of great products for it. But making a character can be daunting if you want to include everything, look at everything. But I mean, ultimately, what system doesn't have that issue? Sort of like as books come out. Otherwise, you're just not putting out new stuff, So anyway, but 5th edition seems pretty cool. I'm going to take another look at it. But I am a Pathfinder man. Do love it. Paizo is the place to be. Okay, so anyway, by the way, fall has made my lips like super dry. And so if I'm like, that's why. I didn't want to put on any stuff because it would look maybe a little lip glossy in the light here. So we're down at the game shop downtown Salt Lake. And I mean, like, bam, this thing is like downtown, concrete canyons, and hold on. I was thinking about the parking garage, which was terrible. It's been free for like the longest time. There's a new company, I think it's called Call to Park. Terrible. I'll just turn around at the entrance anytime I see that company. There's no way. I'll walk 3 blocks if I got to, because that was just loads of nonsense. So anyway, back to the game shop. So I found out they're moving to a much larger space and near where I am. So I talked to the guy. I was like, I got tons of terrain. And I did a booster draft with my sons for Ixalan, which is the new Magic supplement or Magic release. And I got to tell you, Ixalan looks good. And it makes me want to play the game again. But I must not. I mustn't play it. Also, made a find. Veronica, one of my artists, also in my D&D game, she recommended Glass Cannon as a fantasy role-playing podcast, and I've been listening to them just a little bit, and it does sound quite entertaining. All right, October special. Oh yeah, I already talked to you about the October specials. Check the liner notes for that. Well, guys, that's all I got to say. Me and mine are doing well. I thank you for all your good wishes. If you're a client with a current project, I want to say thank you. Thank you so much. You can always contact me about any matter. And I'll also have, and this is for anybody who's interested, I also have a page that shows all the projects we've been working on. And if you go to this page, it tells you what the stage they're in. It like goes through it, explains everything, tells you who's working on it, what's being done. And I update that, I'm going to say on average once a day, and that would be conservative. Usually it's a couple times a day. So anyway, and then at the bottom of it, it's all the projects we finished in recent history. And I got to tell you guys, it's a lot. It is a lot of projects. BTP is rocking. I never tire of saying it. At least 7,000 projects. That is enormous. I mean, that is a track record. That is like Pitbull locking the jaws on tenacity to get all those things done and to be dedicated to the finished product. And it's good. So thanks. Thanks for your client. Hopefully you can become a client too. If you're not, maybe you can become a client. Never hurts to ask, you know, inquire about what it is you might like done. Because I got to tell you, it is quite the nice luxury to just have your miniatures painted. To just say, here you go, da-da-da. And by the end of the year, I'm predicting by the end of the year, I'm going to be really rocking it with right around 30 projects. 30 projects, 10 artists. That turnaround time is going to be white hot. It's going to be so good. Ah, it just fills my heart with gladness. Hey, and also sometime soon, maybe even tonight, although the light doth fail, I'm going to show you some of my D&D figures because I counted them up, and I've got 210 figures. Most of which I painted myself. I just started, you know, pulling stuff out of stock that I was like, oh, this is interesting. Oh, this is interesting. I'll paint these up. It was a blast. I loved it. And I'm not even done. I would just sit down and be like, oh, I'll just paint up these archers. Da, 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 da. What's the other thing with that? Ba, da, 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 da. No, that's it. All right. Thanks for tuning in, guys.